She almost died and lost everything, her memory, her love, her trust. But what if the person she trusted most was hiding a dark secret that could destroy her forever? In this story, you'll see how Lily's mind is a battleground between betrayal and justice, and how she fights to reclaim her identity and her life. You won't believe how her past and present collide as clues surface, revealing a shocking truth that could shatter everything she thought she knew. And wait until you hear how Jack's manipulations run deeper than anyone could imagine. There's a twist that will leave you speechless. Could Lily find the strength to expose his lies, or will her memory remain her prison? If you're ready to unravel a story of love, betrayal, and revenge, hit that like button now. Drop a comment telling us where you're watching from, and stay tuned. You won't want to miss the jaw-dropping finale that could change everything. I remember the moment clearly. It was a cold, quiet afternoon. I was walking outside, holding Jack's hand. We were laughing, talking about our plans for the weekend. I felt happy. Then, everything changed in a second. Suddenly, a loud screeching sound filled the air. A car was coming fast toward us. Jack pulled me back, but I didn't move fast enough. I saw the car, the bright lights blurring together. I felt a jolt, then darkness. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed. My head hurt. I looked around and saw the room was bright and quiet. I saw Jack sitting beside me. His face looked worried, but he smiled when he saw I was awake. "Lily," he said softly, "you're awake. You're going to be okay." But I wasn't sure. Something was wrong. I looked at Jack, and I didn't remember him well. I couldn't remember what had happened before I woke up. My mind felt blank, like a clear sky with no clouds. The nurse came into the room. She checked my IV and asked questions. I tried to remember my name, where I was, what I had been doing, but my memories only weird feelings and small pieces of images. I knew I had a family and friends, but I couldn't remember their names or faces clearly. Jack held my hand gently. "Don't worry," he said. "You had a little accident. The doctor said you might forget some things. It's normal." "Why?" I asked, my voice shaky. "What happened?" He hesitated. "You saved me," he said quietly. "You pushed me out of the way of the car. You got hurt, but you're safe now." I looked at him. I felt strange. I wanted to believe him, but I also felt a tiny part of me wondering. Something was missing. I didn't remember saving him. I didn't remember us being together like he said. Over the next few days, people came to visit. My friends and family looked worried. They told me I was lucky to be alive. They asked me questions about my past, but I couldn't answer well. I kept thinking, why can't I remember? What else do I not remember? Jack was kind to me. He helped me with my things. He brought me flowers. He sat with me and listened as I struggled to tell my story. Sometimes I felt he was trying too hard to make me feel comfortable. Sometimes he looked away quickly, like he was hiding something. One day, I found a small photo in my bag. It was of me and Jack, smiling. I looked at it. I didn't recognize the face staring back at me. Who was she? Why did I feel sad looking at her picture? That evening, I sat alone in my hospital bed. I closed my eyes and tried to remember something, anything, but my mind stayed silent. Only a few faint feelings flickered inside me. Confusion, sadness, a strange sense of loss. While I lay there, I thought about Jack. He seemed so caring, but sometimes I wondered, why did he seem so eager to protect me? Why did he always want to talk about the accident? Was there more to his story? That night, I had a strange dream. I was falling from high up in the sky. I reached out my hand, trying to catch something, but everything was dark and cold. When I woke up, I was sweating and breathing hard. I didn't understand why I felt so anxious. All I wanted was to remember who I was. I wanted to know my past, my life before the accident, but my mind stayed silent. The days went by slowly. I was getting stronger, but my memory stayed broken. Jack was always there, helping me, caring for me. I wanted to trust him. I wanted to believe I was safe with him. But inside, I kept asking myself, what if I don't remember because I don't want to? Or worse, what if I never remember? I didn't know what was coming next. I only knew one thing for sure. Something had happened that day, something big, and I was now waiting to find out the truth. And deep inside, I hoped that one day I would remember everything. I hoped that I would understand what really happened, because if I don't, I feel like I am still lost, like a boat in the dark, searching for a safe harbor. That was the first day of my new life, full of questions, hidden fears, and a quiet hope that someday I would find my way back. I wake up in the hospital. My head still hurts. The room is quiet, and machines beep softly. I try to move my arms and legs. Everything feels strange. I look around and see a nurse smiling at me. "Good morning, Lily," she says gently. "You are safe now." I want to remember my name, but it feels like a blank page inside my mind. I stare at her, confused. "Where am I?" I ask. "You're in the hospital," she replies. "You had an accident, but you're okay now." I touch my head, trying to remember what happened. I see a photo on the bedside table. It shows me and a man I don't recognize. I pick it up and look at it closely. Who is this girl? I wonder. Why do I have this picture? Just then, the door opens. A man walks in. He looks kind but worried. "Lily," he says softly, "I'm Jack." He sits next to me. His face is gentle, but I feel a tiny tug of suspicion. Something about him feels familiar, but strange. "Do you remember me?" Jack asks. I shake my head. "No," I say quietly. He looks sad, but tries to smile. "That's okay. You're safe now. We're going to help you get better." I want to believe him, but my mind is still cloudy. I look at him carefully. He seems kind, but I notice small things. He avoids my eyes sometimes, or he quickly changes the subject. Over the next few days, Jack visits me often. He brings my favorite flowers and talks about my favorite foods. He tells me stories about us. But I don't remember anything he says. I feel grateful that he cares, but a tiny voice inside me whispers, something is not right. One afternoon, I find a small box hidden under my pillow. I open it carefully. Inside, I see a bracelet with our initials, L and J. I don't remember wearing it before. I hold it in my hand. Why do I have this, I wonder? Did I forget it on purpose? I try to think hard, but my mind still feels empty. That night, I have a strange dream. I see myself falling. Everything is dark and loud. I wake up sweating, my heart pounding. I sit up and look around. The room is quiet again. I feel a little scared, but I also feel a flicker of hope. Maybe, someday, I will remember everything. The next morning, I sit in a chair with Jack by my side. I stare at the photo of us. I want to know the truth. "Jack," I ask softly, "who am I?" He looks surprised but quickly smiles. "You are Lily," he says, "and I love you." His words feel warm, but I notice his eyes flicker with something hidden. As days pass, I see small things that don't add up. Jack sometimes acts nervous when I ask about my past. He avoids certain questions or changes the subject quickly. I start to notice more. Sometimes I remember tiny pieces of my life, a song, a place, a smile, but the full picture still stays out of reach. One evening, I find a note in my purse. It says, "Remember the truth." I don't know who wrote it, but it makes me think. I want to find out who I am. I want to know what really happened that day. The more I try, the more I realize something is wrong. I can feel it in my gut. I don't fully trust Jack anymore. But I also feel afraid to ask too many questions. What if I lose him? What if I get hurt again? Still, I decide I will keep searching. I will find my memories, no matter what. Every day, I learn a little more. Small pieces of my past start to come back, like tiny shards of glass. Sharp, but beautiful. And I know this. I am not just a girl with amnesia. I am someone who wants to know the truth, and I will find it. Because deep inside, I feel that one day I will remember everything. And when I do, I will know who I truly am. I will find the truth, and I will be strong. I woke up in the hospital. The room was quiet, and I was confused. I didn't remember much. My head still ached, but I was alive. I looked around and saw a nurse checking my IV. I felt strange, like I was somewhere for the first time. Then I saw Jack sitting in a chair nearby. He looked tired, but smiled when he saw me open my eyes. "Hi, Lily," he said softly. "You're awake." I tried to speak, but my throat was dry. I looked at him. His face looked gentle, but I could see a flicker of worry in his eyes. "Where am I?" I asked quietly. "You're in the hospital," Jack said. "You had an accident, but you're okay now." I closed my eyes and tried to remember. An accident? I didn't remember it. Nothing about the fall or what happened that day. I felt scared and a little lost. Days went by. I stayed in the hospital. I was getting better, but my mind was still empty. I didn't remember my name or my past. Sometimes I had strange dreams about falling or being chased. They made me even more confused. One morning, I was looking at a small table beside my bed. There was a photo of a girl and a boy. I didn't recognize them. I wondered who they were. I reached out and touched the photo, feeling a strange pull in my chest. Jack came over and sat beside me. "That's a picture of you and me," he said softly. "We're good friends. Maybe someday you'll remember." I looked at him. I wanted to believe him, but I felt unsure. Why did this photo seem so familiar? And why did I feel a strange sadness inside? One day, I found a little bracelet on my bedside table. It was simple with my initials on it, LM. I rubbed it gently. How did I get it? Why was it here? I showed Jack. "Where did this come from?" I asked. He looked surprised. "Oh," he said quickly, "maybe someone gave it to you, or maybe it's from your old stuff." I was not sure. I wanted to believe Jack, but I had so many questions. I felt like I was missing pieces of a puzzle. That afternoon, I noticed something strange. Jack was acting a little nervous. He avoided looking at me directly sometimes. When I asked him about my past, he changed the subject or smiled too much. I started to feel that I couldn't trust everything he said. I remembered tiny flashes, images of falling, a strange note I saw in my dreams that said, "Remember the truth." Little by little, I felt my mind trying to piece things together. One night, I woke up from a bad dream. I saw flashes of a road, a car rushing toward me, and someone shouting. I sat up, sweating. I wanted to remember more. The next day, I found a small paper in my bag. It was folded many times. I opened it carefully. The paper had words written faintly. "You know the truth. Find it." I looked around. Who wrote this? Was it someone from my past? Or was it Jack trying to hide something? That evening, I asked Jack, "Do you know anything about me? About my past?" He hesitated. "I only want to help you get better," he said softly. His voice sounded nervous. Still, I saw more. Little things that didn't match. Why was he so eager to protect me from remembering? Why did he seem to hide things? I started to think maybe I had been hurt more than I knew. I wanted to remember. I wanted to find the truth. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I decided I wouldn't give up. Every new day was a step toward understanding. My mind was still fuzzy, but my heart was starting to feel stronger. I was learning to trust myself again, even when the world felt confusing. And deep inside, I knew that the answers I sought were somewhere. I just had to find them. No matter how dark it seemed now, I was ready to face whatever was hidden in the shadows. I looked at Jack once more. I didn't know everything about him yet, but I knew one thing for sure. I had to be brave. My past might be gone for now, but my future was waiting, and I was ready to discover it. I wake up in the hospital. My head hurts, and everything feels foggy. I look around and see the white walls and the soft beeping of machines. I try to remember what happened, but my mind is blank. I don't know my name, where I am, or what I was doing before. A nurse comes into the room. She smiles gently and checks my IV. "You're lucky to be alive," she says softly. "You were in an accident, but you're getting better." I want to ask her questions, but I can't remember anything. I feel scared and confused. I look around the room and see a small table next to my bed. On it, there is a photo. It shows a girl and a boy smiling together. I stare at the photo and feel a strange tug in my chest. I don't know who they are. Suddenly, the door opens and Jack walks in. He is tall and has kind eyes. He looks happy to see me, but I notice something strange. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. He looks nervous. "Lily," he says softly, "I'm so glad you're awake." I try to speak, but my mouth feels dry. Jack pulls a chair close and sits beside me. "You've been asleep for a long time," he says. "You're in the hospital now. I've been here every day." I look at him and try to remember something, anything, but my mind stays blank. For a moment, I think about asking him questions. Who am I? Why am I here? But my voice won't work. Jack reaches out and gently touches my hand. "You're safe now," he says softly. "We're going to get through this together." I want to believe him. But something feels off. I see a flicker of worry in his eyes. Why does he look so nervous? Why does his voice sound so careful? That afternoon, visitors come into the room. First, a woman I don't recognize sits by my bed. She looks kind, but sad. She holds my hand gently and whispers, "You're going to be okay, Lily." Then, I see my friends, Sarah and Mike. They come with big smiles. They bring flowers and talk softly to me. I want to remember them, but I can't. I just nod and smile politely. Inside, I feel a small spark of hope. Maybe I will remember soon. As the day goes on, I notice little things. Jack always stays close. He tells me stories about my life, but I don't remember any of it. Sometimes he says things that don't make sense. Once he says, "Remember your favorite hobby? You loved painting." I try to picture myself painting, but I see only darkness. Later, I find a bracelet in my hand. It's silver with tiny hearts. It has my initials engraved, LM. I hold it tight and wonder, who am I? Why does this mean so much to me? I try to ask Jack about it, but he quickly changes the subject. I feel tired. My head hurts again. I close my eyes and drift into sleep. Dreams come, but they are blurry. I see flashes of people and places I don't recognize. I hear voices calling my name, but I can't reach them. When I wake up, Jack is still there. He smiles at me, but I notice he looks worried. He says, "You're doing really well. We'll figure everything out soon." His words sound comforting, but I can tell he's hiding something. I lie back on the bed. My mind is full of questions. Who am I? What happened that day? Why do I feel so lost? I want to remember, but the pieces are still missing. I look out the window. The sky is bright blue. I take a deep breath and decide that I won't give up. I will find the truth. I may be confused now, but I am strong. I will remember who I am. I will find my way back. As I rest, I think about the people around me. Jack, the visitors, my friends. I feel a flicker of hope. Maybe someday soon, I will remember everything. Maybe I will know the girl in the photo and the boy who is here with me. And I promise myself, I will keep trying. I will not stay lost forever. I will find my past. I will find myself, and I will decide my own future. I woke up in the hospital. My head still felt sore, and everything was blurry. I looked around and saw the white ceiling and the soft beeping of machines. I was confused. I didn't remember how I got here. I didn't remember much at all. A nurse came into the room. She smiled gently and said, "You are lucky. You are getting better, Lily." I tried to sit up, but my body was weak. I looked at her and asked, "Where am I? Who am I?" The nurse looked at me kindly. "You're in the hospital. You had an accident, but you are safe now." I felt a tiny spark of hope. Maybe I wasn't hurt anymore. Maybe I could remember who I was. Soon, the door opened and Jack came in. He looked nervous, but tried to smile. "Hey, Lily," he said softly. "I've been waiting for you to wake up." I looked at him closely. I didn't recognize him much. I knew he was important, but I didn't know why. His face seemed kind, but I felt a small flicker of doubt. He sat next to my bed and took my hand gently. "You've been through a lot, but I'm here. I'll take care of you." I wanted to trust him. He seemed nice, but my mind was cloudy. I couldn't remember the past. I only knew I was confused and wanted to know the truth. Over the next few days, I saw more of Jack. He smiled and talked to me like I was his girlfriend. He brought me flowers and told me stories about us. But sometimes I saw shadows in his eyes, or he would change the subject when I asked questions. One day, I sat in my hospital bed and looked around. I saw a small table with a picture. It was a photo of me with a girl I didn't recognize. The girl had a bright smile and long hair. I didn't remember her, but I felt a strange pull in my chest. I reached out and touched the photo. I wanted to remember. I wanted to see if I could find my past somewhere inside me. Later, I found a bracelet on my bedside table. It had my initials on it, LC. I stared at it and wondered, who am I? Why don't I remember? I tried to think harder. I remembered a feeling like falling into darkness. My dreams were full of shadows and falling. I shivered as I remembered the darkness, but I still couldn't see where I was or who I was. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing flashes of things, small bits of memory. I remembered a voice calling my name. I remembered running. I remembered feeling scared. But I couldn't put the pieces together. The next morning, I asked Jack about the photo and the bracelet. "Who is she?" I asked softly. He looked surprised, then quickly said, "Just a friend. You must have met her before your accident." His voice sounded calm, but I saw something in his eyes. A flicker of worry. I felt a little nervous. Something was not right. As days went on, I started to notice more. Jack was always nearby, watching me. When I asked questions about the past, he changed the subject. Or he said, "Don't worry about that now. You need rest." But I wanted to know. I needed to remember. My mind was a puzzle and I was missing many pieces. One afternoon, I found a small note hidden in my room. It was folded carefully. I opened it and read the words, "Some truths are hard to face. Be brave." I felt a shiver run down my spine. Who wrote this? Was it for me? Or was it meant to warn me? I looked at Jack. He was sitting in a chair, pretending to read a book, but I saw his hands trembling a little. I knew I had to find out more. I had to discover who I was and what really happened. I couldn't trust everything I was told. My memories were hiding somewhere inside me. I took a deep breath. I looked out the window and saw the bright sky. I knew that soon I might remember everything, or I might find the truth I was searching for. One thing was clear. I was ready to face whatever came next, because I wanted to know the real me, and I wanted to find what was lost. I looked at Jack again. This time, I saw past his smile. I saw a hint of something darker, a secret he was hiding. I decided I wouldn't give up. I would keep searching. I would find my answers, and I would remember who I really was. Because sometimes, even in the dark, the truth finds a way to come out. And when it does, nothing can stop it, not even amnesia or lies. I was going to find my way back to myself. And I was going to do it no matter what. I woke up in the hospital. My head still hurt, and everything around me looked blurry. I felt confused. I didn't remember much. My body was tired, and I was trying to understand what had happened. A nurse came into the room. She smiled gently. "You're lucky you're awake," she said. "You had a bad fall, but you will get better." I looked around and saw Jack sitting in a chair nearby. He was watching me carefully. When he saw I looked at him, he smiled softly. "Hey," he said softly, "you're awake. I've been waiting for you." I remembered his face from before, but I didn't remember much about him. I felt a small spark of hope. Maybe I could find out who I was. Maybe I could remember everything. But something didn't feel right. I looked at Jack's face. His smile was kind, but I noticed he was a little tense. His hands shook slightly. I wondered why. I wanted to ask him questions, but I didn't know where to start. Instead, I looked at the little things around me. The photos on the table, the jewelry in a box. They looked familiar, but I couldn't tell why. Later that day, my friends and family came to visit. They told me I was brave. They said I saved Jack during the accident. That's why I got hurt. I listened, but part of me still felt lost. I wanted to remember more. I closed my eyes and tried to picture my life before, but all I saw were small flashes, like pieces of a puzzle I couldn't put together. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept dreaming about falling. I saw a quick flash of a picture, a photo of me and Jack. I didn't recognize it, but I felt a strange feeling inside. The next morning, I decided to look carefully at the things I had found. I picked up a bracelet from my wrist. It was pretty, with small heart shapes. I remembered seeing it somewhere, but I couldn't remember where. Then I found a small note under my pillow. I read it slowly. It said, "Remember who you are." My heart beat faster. I felt a little hope, but also a lot of confusion. I looked at Jack. His eyes were kind, but I saw a flicker of worry in them. I wondered if he knew more than he told me. I decided I needed to find out the truth. I wanted to remember everything. I wanted to understand what had really happened to me. Later, I found a photograph hidden in a drawer. It was old. It showed me with a boy and a girl. I didn't know them. I looked at the faces. I felt a strange pull in my chest. As I stared at the photo, I noticed Jack watching me closely. He quickly looked away when I looked at him. I wondered if he was hiding something. That day, I spoke quietly to my support team. I asked, "Do you know anything about my past? About the accident?" They looked at each other and nodded. They said they would help me find the truth. I felt nervous, but also brave. I knew I had to keep searching. I needed to find the real me, the girl in the photo, the person I once was. That night, I sat alone in my hospital bed. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. I promised myself I would not give up. I would find my memories, no matter how hard it was, and I would be careful, because I sensed that Jack was hiding things. I didn't know why, but I knew I had to watch him. I was still confused, but I was starting to believe in one thing. My past was not gone forever. It was waiting for me to find it, and I would, no matter what. This was just the beginning. I was going to learn the truth, and I was going to be strong. For myself, for my future. I wake up early in the hospital. The room is quiet. The sun shines through the window. I feel a little stronger than yesterday, but my head still hurts. I look around. Jack is sitting in a chair beside my bed. He looks nervous. His hands are folded in his lap. When he sees me wake, he quickly stands up. "Good morning," he says softly. "How do you feel?" I nod. "Okay, I guess." He smiles a little. "That's good. You need rest." His voice sounds gentle, but I can see something is bothering him. I look at him carefully. I want to ask questions. I want to know the truth. But I remember what I learned before. Jack is hiding things. I try to think back. My mind is still fuzzy. I don't remember everything. It's like a puzzle missing many pieces. I see a small bracelet on my wrist. It has my initials on it. LP. I touch it gently. I wonder what else I don't remember. Jack sits back down and takes my hand. "You're doing great. We are going to get through this." I want to believe him, but part of me feels unsure. I notice he looks away for a moment, like he's hiding something. Maybe guilt? Later, my friends come to visit. Sarah and Mike bring flowers. They sit beside me and smile, but I see worry in their eyes. "How are you feeling, Lily?" Sarah asks softly. "I'm okay," I say, "but I still don't remember everything." Mike looks at me kindly. "You're brave. It will come back." I want to believe that. But sometimes I feel a shadow in my mind. I remember tiny pieces of my past, like a flash of a photo, or a smell, or a song, but nothing clear. That night I lie in the hospital bed. I close my eyes and try to rest. But I have strange dreams. In my dream, I see falling from a great height. I feel scared, but safe at the same time. Then I see Jack's face. He looks worried but sad. Suddenly, I wake up. My heart beats fast. I hear a voice outside my room. It's Jack. "Lily, are you okay?" I sit up and nod. "Yes, I just had a strange dream." He comes closer and touches my hand. "Dreams can be confusing. Don't worry." I look at him. I want to believe him, but I also want to know the truth. The next day, I find something strange. In my bag, I see an old photo. It's blurry, but I recognize a girl's face. It's me, but I don't remember her. I hold the photo carefully. I want to ask Jack about it, but I don't want to upset him. Later, I find a small note in my room. It says, "Find the truth. Don't forget who you are." I read it again. My heart beats faster. I feel a spark of hope. Maybe I can find my real past. I decide to ask Jack about the note. I want to hear the truth from him. That evening, I sit with him. Jack, what does this note mean? Who wrote it? He looks nervous. I don't know. Maybe someone playing a game. But I don't believe him. I see his eyes move quickly. I notice he's hiding something. I want to trust him, but I can feel danger. I think about my memories, about the pieces I saw and the note. I tell myself I need to be brave. I want to remember everything. I want to know the truth. Tomorrow is a new day. Maybe I will find more clues. Maybe I will remember who I really am. And maybe I will finally see Jack's real face before shadows took over. I close my eyes again, feeling both scared and strong. I will not give up. I will find my story, because I know deep inside that the truth is waiting for me, and I will find it, no matter what. I wake up in the hospital room early in the morning. The sun shines through the window. I feel tired but restless. My head still hurts a little. I look around. Jack is sitting in a chair next to my bed. He looks tired too. His eyes are red, like he didn't sleep well. I try to remember what I was dreaming about. Something about falling and darkness, but the details are blurry. I sigh quietly. I want to know who I am and what really happened. Jack notices I'm awake. He quickly stands up and walks over to me. His face looks worried. "Good morning," he says softly. "How do you feel today?" "I feel okay," I answer, but I want to ask him more. I want to know if he is hiding anything. I look at the small box on my bedside table. Inside, I see a bracelet with tiny stars on it. It looks special. I remember seeing it before, but I don't know where. I turn my head to Jack. "This bracelet, did I have it before?" I ask. His eyes flicker. He pauses for a moment. "Yes," he says. "It was a gift from someone special." I feel a little confused. I want to trust him, but something feels strange. I decide to look at the bracelet more carefully. The stars are shiny, and the clasp is broken. I wonder who gave it to me. Later, I ask Jack if I can go for a walk outside. I need fresh air. He hesitates, then nods. "Sure, I'll come with you," he says. We walk down the hospital hall. I look around at the pictures on the walls. There are photos of trees, animals, and happy families. I feel a strange pull inside. I want to remember my past. I want to know who I am. As we step outside, the bright sun hits my face. I breathe deeply. The air feels good. Jack walks beside me quietly. He seems nervous, like he's hiding something. Suddenly, I see a small object on the ground. It's a torn piece of paper. I bend down and pick it up carefully. It has writing on it. I look closer. It says, "Find the truth." I stare at the words. My heart beats faster. Could this be a message? Was someone trying to tell me something? I look at Jack. He sees what I hold and quickly tries to take it from me. "Don't worry about that," he says quickly. "It's nothing important." But I don't believe him. I feel a strange strength inside me. I want to know the truth. I want to find out what my past really is. Later that day, I decide to look through my belongings in the hospital room. I find a small safe hidden in the bottom drawer. It's locked. I wonder what secret is inside. I ask Jack if I can open it. He looks surprised. "I don't think that's a good idea," he says. His voice sounds nervous, but I want to see what's inside. I take a small key from my pocket. I try it on the lock. It fits. The safe opens with a soft click. Inside, I find a letter and a small photo. The letter is from someone called Mother. It talks about me and my future. It says I am special and brave. But it also asks me to be careful. The photo shows a young girl with long hair, holding a teddy bear. The girl looks like me. I stare at her, feeling a strange mix of sadness and curiosity. I put the items back in the safe. I close it carefully. I want to remember everything I find. I want to understand my past. That night, I lie in bed. My mind is full of questions. Who is the girl in the photo? What does the letter mean? And why does Jack look so nervous when I ask about my past? I know I'm close to finding answers. I can feel it. I just have to be brave and keep searching. Tomorrow I will ask more questions. I will look for more clues. I will not give up. Because I want to remember. I want to know who I am. And I want to find the truth behind everything. As I drift to sleep, I think about the road ahead. It might be hard, but I am ready. I will find my way back. I will learn my story. And someday, I will understand everything. This is just the beginning. The truth is waiting for me. I will find it. And when I do, I will be free. I wake up in the hospital. The room is quiet. The lights are soft. I feel tired but alert. My head still aches a little. I look around and see my family and friends sitting nearby. They smile gently at me. I turn my head slowly and see Jack standing by the window. He looks nervous. His hands are clenched and he keeps looking at his phone. I feel a strange feeling inside me. I want to ask him questions. I want to understand what is real. A nurse comes into the room. She smiles and checks my IV. She says, "You're getting better, Lily. You're lucky you're safe." I nod and try to smile back, but my mind feels foggy. I want to remember more. I want to know what happened before the accident. After a while, Jack walks over to me. His face looks soft now, but I notice something strange. His eyes are quick to look away when I stare at him. His voice is gentle. "How do you feel today?" he asks. I want to tell him I am confused. I want to ask about my past, but I don't remember much. Only small pieces, like a faint picture of a fall and darkness and a feeling of fear. My mom takes my hand. She says, "We're so glad you're awake. We've missed you." I squeeze her hand. I try to remember her face, but it's blurry. Still, I feel safe with her. I look at my room. There are small things on the shelves, pictures, a bracelet, a letter. I see a picture of me and Jack. I stare at it for a long moment. It looks happy, but something about it feels wrong, like a puzzle piece that doesn't quite fit. That night, I lie in bed. The room is quiet again. My mind drifts. I see a flash of something. My fall, darkness again, and a cold wind. I wake up suddenly. My heart beats fast. It was just a dream, I tell myself. But the dream leaves me with questions. The next day, I decide to look around the room. I notice a small safe tucked in the corner. I walk over and see a tiny keyhole. I wonder what's inside. I don't remember locking it or even knowing about it. I kneel beside it and look carefully. I see a note pinned to the door of the safe. It says, "Open when you are ready." My hands tremble a little. I want to open the safe. I want to see what secrets it holds. I think about the note. Could it be for me? Or is someone trying to hide something important? Later, Jack comes into the room. I watch him closely. He seems nervous. He sees me looking at the safe. He quickly walks over and says, "That's just an old thing. Don't worry about it." I look at him. Something is wrong. I want to ask him about the note, about the safe, but I hold back. I feel that I need to be careful. My instincts tell me there are secrets here. That afternoon, I find a small photo under my pillow. It's an old picture of a woman, maybe my mother. Her face is gentle. She is smiling. I feel a strange warmth and sadness at the same time. I don't remember her clearly, but I want to. As I look at the photo, pieces of my past start to rise in my mind. Small memories, things I forgot, feelings I had long ago. I realize I am getting closer to understanding who I am, but I also sense that Jack is watching me. His face is tight. He seems worried. I can tell he is hiding something. I feel a little scared, but I also feel strong. I want to find out the truth. That evening, I sit alone in my room. I hold the photo in my hands. I think about my past, my family, and Jack. I know I must be brave. I will keep searching for answers. I close my eyes and breathe deep. I tell myself, I will remember. I will find the truth. I feel a small spark of hope. Even if the past is dark and confusing, I know I am on a path to the truth. Tomorrow is a new day. I will keep looking. I will not give up, because I deserve to know who I am and what really happened. And one day, I will find the answers. I will remember everything, and I will decide what to do next. For now, I rest, but inside, I am ready to face the truth. I am ready to be brave, and I know that no matter what, I am strong enough to discover my true story. I wake up in the hospital bed. The room feels quiet and soft. Sunlight comes through the window. I try to move my arms, but I feel weak. My head hurts a little. I remember nothing about my past. I only know I am here now. A nurse comes in. She smiles gently. "Good morning, Lily," she says. "You are getting stronger. How do you feel?" I nod. "Okay, I guess. Do you know what happened?" She looks at me kindly. "You had an accident. You fell and hurt your head. That's why you don't remember. But you are safe now." I listen carefully. Safe. That word sounds nice, but I still feel lost. I want to know who I am. I want to remember my life. Soon, Jack walks into the room. He is smiling, but I see something in his eyes. Maybe worry. He sits next to me and takes my hand gently. "Hi, Lily," he says softly. "I'm glad you're awake." I look at him. He feels familiar, but I can't place him. I want to ask questions, but words are hard. "Do you remember anything?" Jack asks. I shake my head. "Nothing. I only feel confused." He nods. "That's okay. It will take time, but I am here for you. We'll figure everything out." He smiles, but I notice he looks tired too. I wonder if he is hiding something. I want to trust him, but my mind is a blank page. Over the next few days, I stay in the hospital. Jack visits often. He brings me flowers, and he talks about simple things. He says I used to love music and painting. He shows me some pictures. I see a photo of a girl with bright eyes. She looks like someone I might have known. One day, I find a small box hidden in my drawer. Inside, there are some old photos and a letter. The letter is from a person I don't recognize. It says, "Remember who you are. Don't forget the past." I feel a strange feeling, like someone is trying to tell me something I need to find. I show the box to Jack. He looks nervous for a moment. "Those are old things," he says quickly. "Nothing important." But I can see he's hiding something. I want to know the truth. I ask him, "Who am I? Why do I feel so lost?" He hesitates, then says, "You're safe now. That's what matters. Your past is behind you." I don't believe all his words. I feel that I need to find out more. My memories are like small sparks in my mind, flickering but not fully visible. That night, I dream about falling. I see flashes of my past life, people, places, and a big accident. I wake up sweating and gasping. My heart beats fast. I know I need to keep searching. I want to remember everything. I want to find out who I really am. The next day, I talk to my nurse and ask for copies of my medical reports. I want to see what was written about my injury. I also ask about my family and friends. Maybe they can tell me more. As I gather small clues, I begin to see that Jack is not telling the full story. He acts kind but nervous when I ask questions about my past. Sometimes, he changes the subject or looks away. I think about all the strange things I saw and heard. The old photos, the hidden box, the notes. I know one thing for sure. I have to find out the truth. I can't stay lost forever. I feel a new strength inside me. I may have forgotten my past, but I haven't lost my hope. Soon I will remember who I am, and I will decide what to do with the truth. I look out the window and take a deep breath. The world outside is waiting. My journey isn't over. It has only just begun.